Damn, if I was Jay, honestly, he should stream our podcast.
We live. That would be dope.
That would be pretty dope, right?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are officially live. 10 seconds in. What is going on, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? We are here. A shot with
Wh-
Coquito and Dom. I'm your host, Dom, and I'm with my co-host today.
What's up, everybody? It's Coquito. One question, Doc. What happened to the introduction?
Oh, you know what I noticed when I'm doing the introductions from here with the sound that we're using? It
Uh-huh.
fades off, so it goes kind of weird.
Oh,
So,
really?
I mean, it.
No,
Hey,
it's
you want the introduction? Here you go. Whoopie. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I didn't know. I didn't know that was happening. I really didn't know.
Yeah,
Ah,
it
but
was
that's
fading off.
all
Only
right.
for when I'm doing it from StreamYard, but if I was doing it like a regular video, it wouldn't have that effect.
All right, so that's cool. At least we still got the introduction going on, though.
Hmm.
So what's up, though, man? How you doing?
I'm cool. Got my Grey Goose here.
Where's my bottle at? My bottle's
What
down
you
here.
got?
Hold up. I still got the thing. So I didn't end up. Yeah. So what happened was, right. I didn't end up drinking it Saturday night. My friend just ended up coming over and he brought a bottle of Tito's, so we ended up just finishing that. So I was
Mm,
good with that. I didn't need to touch the Elijah and Craig. So if
nah,
not, it
I
would have
got you.
been done.
All right, so we got a couple of topics here today of discussion. We're gonna start off with Julio Jones. The news broke early this morning. Julio Jones is on the trade block. What team do you think could use Julio Jones right now? Even though he's costing a lot, and I don't know what team will be willing to go get him because he's
Mm-hmm.
got like 13 plus in cap space per year. But what
Mm-hmm.
team you think could use Julio Jones?
All right, so we'll go. So basically, we'll go without like trying to figure out like what this team will give up or whatever the case may be. I think the two teams that just come straight off top of my head that can use him the most. One, I think the Giants could really need him, and also I think it will be huge if the Packers somehow end up with Julio Jones. I feel like that is that real offensive threat that they can add along with Devontae Adams. So I think the Packers and the Giants probably the two teams that could probably benefit from him the most.
I'm surprised he didn't use the Jets.
Oh no, because I mean it's not. Then you just have Julio. That's it. He's back to the Falcons again. So
Yeah, I don't know, man. Y'all picked up some wide receivers in the offseason.
no, yeah,
So
no, but we got like little. No, I don't know. I just think for him and for the teams, I think Giants and Packers is probably the best. Even the Seahawks too, to be honest.
yeah, Seahawks is definitely one him and DK Metcalf. It opened up for Metcalf because we know Metcalf don't have good route running. So
Mm-hmm.
Julio fit in there. Seahawks, the Giants you mentioned. Another team that I can possibly see using Julio that can actually work is the Bengals. The Bengals just got rid of AJ
Mm.
Green, so if he goes to a team like them with Joe Burrow and T Higgins, who has a wide receiver core already, I
And
think that'd
Boyd.
be a scary sight. I think that'd be a scary sight for
That
sure.
I mean, the only thing that would suck with that team is just the offensive line is just so bad. But honestly, that's a good team right there. That's a good group of wide receivers.
It really is, but hey, we're not the Bengals. They know how to break up things, so that could definitely be a scary sight. But yeah, he had the news broke this morning earlier, so I was like, yeah, I definitely will add that to the list of things we would discuss. On
But yeah,
to the
but,
next
but
topic.
who do you think like now being that said, like who do you think I think the only team that can actually, I guess in a sense, afford him and I think actually make the move, I'll say might actually be the Cowboys. I think they're the only ones that will actually try to make something happen out of that. Other than that, I don't really see any other team going as hard to get Julio Jones.
Well, the Bears.
For the Bears too, yeah. I mean, they
the
can
Bears
really,
do
they
that.
can really, really use him.
You know, they like blowing stuff up too. You know, they got Trubisky a few years ago. Nobody knows why, but I think they got enough cap space to make that move. On to the next topic. Staying on football related, Mac Jones is predicted to go number 3 in the NFL draft over Justin Fields.
Yeah, this one is crazy. Like, I saw something and like it's saying like the 49ers are really like really high on Mac Jones. Like they feel like if you break down Mac Jones's skills and everything that he has, they say it's something that video doesn't show you. Like I guess maybe they saw something in his workouts that we didn't, but yeah, the 49ers are really high on Mac Jones, which is surprising because me and you both had him dropping. We thought, well, we still think that I don't think he's gonna be that good, but
Right.
I guess, like we said, I guess the 49ers see something we don't.
The 49ers are crazy because if they willing to take him over Justin Fields, they're not going to go anywhere. Just as simple as that, because Mac Jones is terrible, in my opinion. I don't think that'd be a waste of a draft pick. So I definitely think they should try to go Justin Fields in that situation.
Yeah, I know it's I don't know. It's one of the situations. I don't know. I guess I heard like stuff they're saying about I guess like Justice Fields, like I don't know. I guess they said something like he doesn't really like he's not focused in football or something like that. But it's just little stuff that they just say just to try to give themselves an excuse on why he shouldn't go that high. But I think Mac Jones is gonna be terrible as well.
Shout out to the Mandalorian _2 for the follow.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate you for following on Green
And The
Games
Mandalorian
TV.
is actually a really good show. You watch that, Dime?
No, it's on. I have Disney Plus too, though.
Yeah, no, the show's actually really good. I'm not a Star Wars guy. Like, I don't watch any of them, but that's actually really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Next up, speaking of Justin Fields, they say he might possibly end up with the Atlanta Falcons. That's kind of weird, being as though Matt Ryan is there. Even though he's on the tail end of his career, he might be retiring soon. But you have a quarterback with an elite arm. It's no point of you going to go get a Fields. Now, we've seen the Packers do this with Jordan Love a year ago with Aaron Rodgers situation. So I can see it happening. But I think if the Falcons go up and steal this, going to get a quarterback will probably be a bad move, being as though Kyle Pitts is there, and that might be a selection for you going to get a tight end.
Yeah,
I think that'll probably be a good move.
This was another thing. Like I read something about the Falcons as well, and I mean this is supposedly what the Falcons are saying is they're open to taking a quarterback. They said that if the quarterback that they want to take is not taken on the board, that they will take a quarterback with that pick. Now, that being said, supposedly it's not even Justice Fields. Supposedly the Falcons were Trey Lance. So I mean that is just mind-boggling, and the fact that they're not even just thinking about like and just locking in the pick of getting Kyle Pitts is crazy. But I mean, they said if the best player available that's there is not the guy that they want, that they're willing to just trade that pick and just get multiple picks in the draft. But the fact that you're just dismissing just Justice Fields if he's still there or Kyle Pitts is crazy to me, man. I don't know what the Falcons is doing, but listen, I guess they're a GM for a reason, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because
speaking of GMs, crazy. The Lakers owner came out and mentioned that he named the most important Lakers top 5: Kobe Bryant, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron James, Magic Johnson, and Phil Jackson. Now, of course, Shaq's name isn't in that list.
That was it. Go ahead.
I'll say, but I understand why it's not. Being as though Shaq got championship rings after he left LA, I don't think it's that much of a deal. Being as though he's important in other organizations now, this has nothing to do with being dominant or one of the best players ever in the Lakers organization. I just think the most important people on that list he named has some fact to it. I actually agree with that list 100%.
So that's the thing, right? I was breaking it down as well, and I agree with the list. I feel like he should have just added 2 more names, and one of them I'm with you with Shaq, and I feel like this one I saw kind of like disrespectful. I'm like, how can you really forget Jerry West? I mean,
Mm.
the guy basically started this whole Laker franchise. So you know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn, really, Jerry West is not up there. Now I understand everybody else. I mean, Kobe deserves to be there. LeBron basically brought the Lakers back. Kareem, you got Magic, and then Phil Jackson is the one who orchestrated all these championships. So I understand those, but I think Jerry West, he definitely needs to be on that list. Shaq, I can understand if he's not, but Jerry West, 100% has to be there.
I think for Jerry West not being on the list, being as though Jerry West of what he did past Lakers, like the moves that he made for the Clippers, the Warriors, like all
Mm.
these things that Jerry West did, not Lakers like related. I feel like that's probably why he's not an important person on that list. You can't. I
Oh
don't know, like Phil Jackson, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kobe Bryant, like all those guys are so important to Lakers.
no,
Like when
yeah,
you think
just
Lakers, you think
you
them.
those
You know what I
guys,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah. So I can understand why he's not, and I think this is like a Mount Rushmore of important. Like so,
yeah,
I
but
kind of
but it, but it,
understand.
but it's just kind of sense like kind of if you look at it without Jerry West, the Lakers kind of really never like would started anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only way. Like, remember we're talking like importance. So like
Mm,
that's why I feel like Jerry West just belongs there because he's the man who started it all for you guys. So I mean, you can't forget about what he did back then. Even though he did end up going to the Clippers and the Warriors, but I just still think that guy is truly important for the Lakers.
yeah, yeah, I understand. You write your own legacy, and legacy recreates itself over time anyway. So
Hmm.
of course, he did his thing in the past, but people come after you that probably make a more importance than you did. So you easily get forgotten, which kind of sucks. But
Well, but that's what I'm saying, and it's crazy because LeBron only been there what 3 years, 2 years,
mhm.
and he's already a more important league than he is. So it's crazy.
Yeah, it really is. Uh, Mentioned of Kyler Murray was just being crazy. Kyler Murray joined FaZe Clan. Is that what you
Yeah,
told me?
yeah. So I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but Kyler Murray he does stream on Twitch. He plays I think most of the time I think he's just playing Warzone.
I
So I
follow
mean,
him.
yeah. So I mean, the dude has like I think like 63,000 followers or whatever the case may be. So I mean, I think I guess I don't know if he was like a fan of FaZe. I'm guessing he has to be a fan of FaZe and know who FaZe is. But I mean, I think that's huge for that organization to not only be as big as they are, but to expand on the people they're signing in their organization. So like, I mean, they're not just listen, these guys are not just out here just signing regular gamers, professional gamers. These guys are now going into the sports wars or sports world, or even let's see if now they start going into the hip hop culture because there's a lot of artists as well that are streaming on Twitch. So I think
Didn't
FaZe
Bronny
is
join
just
FaZe?
Bronny joined FaZe as well. Bronny joined FaZe, Aiden joined FaZe, and now you got Kyler Murray and FaZe. So I mean, these guys are just signing just signing all these big guys, and it's just making FaZe to continue to grow more and more. Like there's no stopping for these guys.
Yeah, man. Kyler Murray actually he's in the program streets of 2K as well. You
Is
didn't
he
know?
really?
Yeah, he plays pro am. He plays Madden as well. I'm pretty sure he's probably gonna play MLB eventually. But yeah, man, he's really big on pro am. He actually be hooping at point guard. So
Oh
if
wow,
you ever
see,
get
I
a
never,
chance
I
to,
never, I never watched him play 2K. Most of the time when I watched him, he was always on Warzone. So I
yeah,
thought he was just strictly with the Warzone.
he be hooping. So definitely
I
look
mean,
out for
listen,
that.
that's what I'm saying, man. Shout out to FaZe, man. That is one hell of an organization, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Listen, hopefully, listen. We trying to do the same thing over here, so let's see what can happen, man.
Shout out to Panda on the YouTube side. What's going on, my man? He's from the Culture Shop fan base. Appreciate you for stopping by.
What's up, Panda? You said Panda?
Yeah, Panda man.
What's up, Panda? Oh, Panda man. Oh, I like that photo.
Yep. On to the next topic, football related. Is Julian Edelman a Hall of Famer or not? I'm gonna let you go first.
So I was looking at this, and kind of like what I thought was who brought this up? Like the dude, like just
ESPN.
really. I mean, the dude just retired. Like, I mean, can you give it some time before you just like automatically just throw a Hall of Fame? But no, I don't think the dude's a Hall of Famer at all.
Really?
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of people that should be in the Hall of Fame and that is not in the Hall of Fame and that has better stats. So, I mean, I don't see him as a Hall of Fame. I mean, if you look at his stats, I mean, they're good, but they're not really like I don't think they're Hall of Fame stats. Like, I mean, Sterling Sharp, right? Sterling Sharp, I think stats is way better. It's way better than his. So, I mean, it's just one of those things, man. I mean, the only thing listen, this is what I kind of have a problem with. Now, it's like they don't separate great from good. Now, like if you're just a good enough player and you hold your own, you win the championships, you're automatically a Hall of Famer. Like back then was you had to be great. Like your numbers had to be great for you to be a Hall of Famer. Now, if you have decent amount of numbers, close enough, okay, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. So I mean, I don't think he is.
It's crazy, man. That's a hot take. Like I said, I always say this. I knew you were going to bring up Sterling Sharp, but the Hall of Fame.
I mean, you got Torrey Hall. You got Torrey Hall as well.
To get in there, it has nothing to do with stats. If you didn't notice, so there are players in the Hall of Fame that made it for only 3 years. It's just basically your impact of what you've done on the field. Now, of course, Torrey Holt didn't get in yet, and his impact was very huge with the Rams and what he did. But for Julian Edelman's sake, for what he did with the Patriots, Super Bowl MVP, 2-time Super Bowl champion, one of the best receivers in Patriots history, I don't think that's automatic qualification. He's going to get in there, and it's going to be a lot of hate behind it because of what he did. Like even his catch in the Super Bowl against the Falcons was crazy.
No,
and
that
he
was
had breakout games.
No, it was a hell of a catch. Okay, so are you saying he's a Hall of Famer because of the Patriots?
No, because of how broken the Hall of Fame listing is, he's going to be a Hall of Famer, and he's going to be in the Ring of Honor for the Patriots as well. So yes, he's a Hall of Famer.
No, Ring of Honor, I can see that. I can see that with the Patriots. But that goes back to what I was saying, that the Hall of Fame is getting watered down. The same thing from baseball Hall of Fame as well. I think NBA Hall of Fame. I think all these Hall of Fames now are just becoming watered down. So like,
baseball's worse though.
Huh?
Baseball's worse though.
Oh yeah, baseball is by far the worst one. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I agree. I think he will make it, but I just don't think he's a Hall of Fame. But like you said, he's gonna make it because the Hall of Fame is watered down now. So I mean, it is what it is. But
yeah,
I just saying back then, if he had those numbers, he's not making the Hall of Fame.
Right. But I think he is, even though you don't. I think he is a Hall of Famer. Of course, it sucks to say that because he's a Patriots player, but I think due to his accolades and what he actually done for this era as well, I think he's going to get in. He's a Hall of Famer for sure, no question.
All right.
Just like Marshawn Lynch, I think Do you think Marshawn Lynch is a Hall of Famer?
I think Marshawn Lynch is a Hall of Famer. Yeah.
Yes, because of the impact he had on the field, right?
And off. But isn't something like I'm not 100% sure, but I have to check. I know, doesn't Marshawn Lynch have a certain amount of some wide receiver stat? I think he has more than Julian Edelman, and the dude was a running back. So I mean,
yeah, I when it comes to making the Hall of Fame, I put stats aside because there's a bunch of players. You mentioned Torrey Holt, a guy like Corey Dillon hasn't even been nodded to go to the Hall of Fame. His stats is off the boards, and he's not in there. But I put stats aside when it comes to conversations like that. And another reason I use is Chad Ochocinco, for example. He's not in the Hall of Fame. He doesn't want to be in there. A bunch of people bring him up. He mentioned plenty of times on interviews that I watch, he doesn't want to be in there because he knows how broken it is. And he says he doesn't need the Hall of Fame board to acknowledge his presence of being in the Hall of Fame because he knows he's a Hall of Fame already. So he doesn't want to be in there. A guy like Brandon Marshall is the same thing. Hasn't retired yet. Stats, one of the best receivers ever. Not in there. It's because they know how broke it is. So I just know Julian Edelman is going to make the Hall of Fame. I just know it.
No, yeah, I do too. And that's the thing is like now I guess just the Hall of Fame is more of like Now, all right. Well, I'll say this in a sense of why I guess I'm so strict on the Hall of Fame is I feel like it has to be stats wise because if if you're considered a Hall of Famer because of impact you had on this team, well, maybe that team was just a fit for you. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you went somewhere else and you had the same impact, now you're automatically a Hall of Famer. But if you stick to one team and only had an impact for that one team, and your stats are okay, I mean, I don't really think you should make it.
Mm,
So,
that's a hot take right there. Just say it.
but like I said,
On to the
listen,
next.
but like you said, I think when he does make it, I think it's gonna be a lot of hate to it. Not only because of his stats, but I think a lot of people just dislike him anyway.
You know what comes with hate? Ratings. So it wouldn't matter at the end of the day.
Yep, that's true.
So, what else is true? Who do you have as Defensive Player of the Year for the NBA?
So I was looking at the odds, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they really like keep Rudy Gobert like as like the favorite to win. And I just like I don't understand. Like, I mean, what can the guy do besides block shots? I mean, do you
They
want
get
I mean
rebounds on defense.
listen, Joe Nerlens the Walls do the same thing. The dude blocks, I mean, a bunch of people. I don't see him as the defensive player of the year. I mean, I think the defensive player of the year has to be somebody not only that you just sit in the paint and block shots, but you're able to actually defend not I'll say multiple positions and actually get yourself out of consider what the front court, right? Yeah. So if you can get out of the front court and actually guard the back court, and guard multiple positions, I feel like that's the defensive player of the year. So with that being said, I think Ben Simmons is going to be the defensive player of the year. I don't see how, and you know, I'm not really on Antetokounmpo, but I'll take Antetokounmpo over Gobert anyway. So I mean, listen, there's just a bunch of people honestly I'll take over Gobert, but I mean, listen, they have him as a favorite. So if anybody want to bet, please bet on Ben Simmons because he is going to win the Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I agree with you in the Ben Simmons thing because that was my pick as well. But you know, him or Giannis basically are the two front runners every year for Defensive Player of the Year, just because they can guard the paint and the front court. Their presence on the defensive side is there, so I definitely will agree with you on that. For both of their sakes of voting, but Ben Simmons is definitely my clear vote for Defensive Player of the Year, just because how much of a dog he is on defense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The dude can clamp you up in the front, and if you get past him, the dude can block you. So I mean, there's nothing that dude can't do.
That's right. But shoot, that's the only thing he can't do.
Well, yeah.
So on to the next segment we got called is Hot Takes. Coquito, you can go ahead and lead us into this category right here.
Well, all right. So let me get the list for you real quick. 1 second. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
So the first hot take was Fields might fall to the 25th or 32nd pick, possibly even the second round in the draft. What do you think?
I don't think that's happening. Fields doing this though, his college president, what he did in the college football. Plus, there's going to be at least 4 quarterbacks taken in the first round. It's no way he's going to fall that low. I think somebody's going to snag him, and he's going to be a steal. Well, not steal, but you know, like quarterback-wise, out the draft and selections, I think he's going to go. He's going to be maybe the top 4 of QB selected in the first round. He's definitely going to go there early.
That's the thing, right? Now, say, okay, well, pretty much 4 quarterbacks are projected to go in the first round. Maybe within the first 7 picks, I'm guessing. First 7 picks, right? So now say he does not get taken in the first 7 picks. Pretty much those teams going down the list might not even need a quarterback. So I mean, I can possibly see the dude falling that low. I don't think he should, and I don't well, yeah, I don't think he just should fall that low, but the possibility of it happening, I could see it. I can see a second round. I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, that would just be a disgrace if he just falls in the second round. But I can probably see him falling if he doesn't get taken within those first 7 picks.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's going top 15. hands
No,
down.
yeah, I listen. I feel like the two should go number 3,
Right.
but
That'd be the smart move.
but I mean, let's see. Listen, the NFL draft is always something you just don't know, man. Is
That's
you
true.
just never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You want to go on the second one? You want me to just read the list going on?
Yeah. This is your segment. You go ahead and run through it.
All right. So the second one is 76ers versus the Clippers in the NBA Finals.
Nah.
No?
I don't think either team's gonna make it.
So you got Nets and Lakers.
Yep.
I that's one of those things. It's tough, man. Like I think the Nets are gonna make it, but then again, it's just like let's see what's gonna happen. I mean, these dudes still have yet to play with each other. They
Doesn't
st-
matter.
no, I know, but it's just, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like something is gonna happen, and I feel like Philly is just more complete as that team, bench wise, starting wise. I feel like they're just gonna completely play team basketball, and I mean, I don't know. Let's see. I can see the 76ers making the Clippers. They're another team. I think they can make it. I mean, I don't think they are,
The West
but
is too deep.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, listen, after seeing what the Suns did last year in the bubble, and now we're adding Chris Paul. I mean, let's just hey, that might be another team that can probably upset a lot of people because
Ah,
even with their seeding, I still think they're not even the favorite in the West. I mean, I think people have Clippers, will probably have the Jazz, will have the Lakers all over the Suns. So I mean, that could be a team that might make some noise.
Yeah, I think the Suns go out first round. I think the teams to look out for in the West are the Jazz, the Nuggets, and the Mavericks.
Well,
Those three
Nuggets without
teams.
Jamal Murray still.
doesn't matter. They
Okay.
they're loaded on talent.
No, yeah, I
Like,
know they are.
and the bench is going to be one of the reasons why they move far. Just like the Jazz, like the bench, it's the bench production. When the starters go out, can the bench put up at least 20 to 30 points in a quarter? And I think those two teams can do that for sure.
But that's what worries me about the Nets as well. Is like when you take these guys out now, who's coming off the bench to score for you guys? I mean, if now if you have Harden or Kyrie on the floor with the bench, I mean, pretty much your defense is gonna have to be set up to just take the ball out of those guys' hands and let whoever else comes off the bench beat you. And I just don't see them having those scorers
When it comes to
unless
the Nets,
unless you see Jeff Green. I mean, becoming the old Jeff Green.
yeah, I think he could do that. But when it comes to the Nets in a 7 game series, they're going to adjust to make one of those dudes come off the bench, and you're
Mm.
going to have nothing to stop them because they're going to do that. Steve Nash, knowing how it is, they're going to have one of them come off the bench. It's probably going to be Harden. And when with Harden inconsistency comes off the bench and he's going to drop at least 30 off of 15 free throws, it's no way you're beating him in a 7 game series.
Yeah, no, it's that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be tough. But I mean, let's see. It's the first year. Let's see what happens. I think definitely eventually, if these guys stick around, obviously they are gonna win a championship. So I mean, it's just bound to happen. Let's just see if it happens in year one.
Yeah, the scary thing is what's going to happen in the off season because somebody else is going to go there.
Oh yeah, imagine that, bro. Oh my god. But then
Yeah,
again, I mean, listen, the Lakers are not to sleep in the finals either. That's gonna be a hell of a matchup.
yeah,
That's gonna be
absolutely.
one hell of a matchup, and I think Draymond Green, Andre Drummond might be the biggest X factor in that series.
100%.
So let's see. Um, so the next thing we have is the Bears. I believe the Bears are gonna be coming out as the winner in this year's draft. I feel like they will have the best draft. Not necessarily draft, but I feel like with the pick that they can possibly make, might be the best out of every team in this year. No,
Hell no.
Why not?
The Bears stink at every draft. Like, even the thought of them getting Trubisky last year, they're going to find a way to fumble the draft. It's just simple as that. Like, I don't see the Bears making 3 good picks. You go be like, you know what? The Bears are going to be scared next year. It's no way just because of what they do in their draft process. Their scouting
So
stinks. And I just don't think they'll come out with the draft. Now, if you said off season, if they acquired free agents, maybe, but they
Let me
didn't
see
do
this real
anything
quick.
this off season. So I just don't know how they're going to be able to win this draft. I just can't see that's a hot take, and there's no way. I just can't see it. I can't see them winning the draft.
So okay, so let's see. So they have the number 20th pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if they end up with one of these top quarterbacks?
I still can't see it. If it comes to the Bears winning the draft, I'm gonna say the Jaguars going to win the draft over them, just because they have the first pick in Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
Simple.
but okay, but why I say they win the draft is because if you look at the team basically is
Thanks.
missing well, they're basically missing the quarterback. The quarterback is terrible. But if listen, just all right, the thought of if Fields falls and falls right into their laps. I mean, just imagine Fields on the Bears. I mean, there's no way you can't say the Bears don't win the draft if they end up with him.
You know why? Because you're setting him up for failure. Why? Because their defensive coordinator and Chuck Pagano stinks, and then their offensive coordinator stinks, and
Yeah,
their
but
head coaching stinks. So you're pretty much setting him up to be the propaganda for Ohio State quarterbacks, pretty much.
well, but okay, but I won't say that because I mean, even with the defensive coordinator stinking, I still think the team is good enough to still defend. And I won't see like that because if you look at it like that, then the Jets are setting up Zach Wilson for failure. I mean, like if you being completely
We
honest,
know that already.
so
We knew that already, though.
so I mean, so I don't look at it as like that. So, but I just think the Bears, if they end up with just a top quarterback, even if it possibly be Trey Lance, if they just end up with one of these top quarterbacks coming out the draft, I just think they'll win the draft, especially at number 20.
Yeah, I don't know. What up, Taz? I don't know about that, man. That's kind of with the Bears. If you would have said anybody else other than the Bears, because we all know the Bears is going to fumble this draft. I'm going to be live on draft night, but so you can literally get my reaction when they don't draft Mac Jones. Like when they don't draft Justin Fields, or they probably trade for somebody like a linebacker with a position they don't need.
Okay, so now saying this, right? Say the Falcons are looking to trade.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears end up moving up. And they take a Justin Fields. Oh, no, the 49ers. I think the 49ers are set already on Mac Jones. But they end up getting Fields. I mean, I don't see how you don't think that those are the winners of the draft right there.
They're not, because Trevor Lawrence is going to win that draft, and the Jaguars, they're going to win the draft. But I think over the Bears.
I feel like Trevor Lawrence is like he don't even count anymore. Like I feel like the dude is already he's just already set as a like.
That mean they won the draft. They literally take to get a future quarterback. That mean they would. They literally would. There's no way you can win.
No, but like without counting Trevor Lawrence, because the first pick don't really count. I mean, you're automatically predicted to win when you have the first pick. But we're saying outside of the top 10, I think the Bears can probably have the best pick in the draft.
All right, so if we don't take Lawrence, we're gonna move down. Whoever takes Kwity Paye is winning the draft. Whoever takes Olarie, a defensive end, which is probably the most important position in the draft, they win the draft. Like the Bears are not going to win over the top 10 picks that are going to get selected. They're not winning the draft over the top 15.
But what I'm saying is I'm like in a sense what I'm saying becoming the winners is I think they can end up with a top pick at number 20. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not counting the guys that predicted to go 1 to 10. Like, I'm just all right. In a sense, I'm saying like this: the players that predicted to go 1 to 10, I think the Bears can probably end up with one of those players. That's what I'm saying, and that's why I will consider them the winners in the draft.
But being as though we know how the Bears are going to play next year, with how tough their schedule is going to be, I don't think they win the draft. I just don't.
All right. He said Bears gonna fuck it up.
Everybody knows.
No, but I think we all. I know. I understand. I think we all agree on that. But it's just I don't know. It's just something I was just looking at, and I'm like, listen, if the Bears end up with this pick, I can see them possibly be one of the winners in the draft.
You definitely won yourself with a hot take on that one because, woo,
I
you're
mean,
like
listen,
the only one agreeing with that.
It won't be a hot take, man. If you don't, you know what I'm saying, if you don't speak out of the ordinary. So
You
I
ain't
mean
lying.
that's the way you got to get these hot takes, man.
Yeah, that's
So
definitely a hot take for this episode.
I mean, listen, I'm excited. I can't wait for the draft. I can't wait to see our list that we have projected to. See where I think for sure we got number 3 wrong, but let's see. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. You know what? You can't wait to see what happens for that draft. I can't wait to see what's going to happen for this podcast. Next episode is probably going to be totally different, depending on how the meeting goes later in the night. But if it goes the way I'm expecting it to go, next episode is going to be fire. It's going to be fire, like literally.
So I'm thinking of something, right? Now that you say that. Hold on. Should we do... I'm thinking maybe not a podcast on Wednesday, but maybe a podcast on Friday doing the draft, like the draft reactions. Because if we do it Wednesday, I mean the draft is Thursday, so there's nothing else for us to really react about. But I don't know. That could be... Listen, that could be something. That could be something we could discuss.
Friday, if we go live Friday, you're going to enjoy the whole episode. I just know it because the way my brain processed last night, because I do most of my brainstorming for content that I produce the night before. So the process is, if you go with what I'm asking, you're going to love it.
All right. No, listen, I trust in you, man. And I think I'm the same way. I think the best way to think of content is the day, like the night before the day you go to sleep. And I think when you wake up, I for some reason, I feel like your brain is running like 1,000 miles per hour. And I feel like the creativity just comes out the night before and the day of in the morning. So, I mean, I believe that. Listen, I trust whatever you got, man. I'm here for it.
All right. Well,
I'm here for it.
You got anything else for this podcast?
Nah, that's it. Let's see. You want to throw one? You got any hot take?
The Knicks stink.
Come, that's not a hot take.
It is because you guys on a win streak.
Listen, now you say that, right? I started laughing because I looked at the schedule, right? So we play the Suns. You already know how I feel about today's game. So if we lose, you already know. Then I believe we
for 40.
Then I feel that. I forgot who we play after them, but May 2nd we play the Rockets. And the only thing that came to my mind was, please do not lose to the Rockets. Like, just please.
It's very possible.
Do not lose to these Rockets, man. That was just my only thought. When I saw we play the Rockets, I'm like, oh man, I hope we just don't lose to this team.
Ooh, especially if the ideas that I got in mind flows. I just know May 2nd is going to be the best day ever. It's going to be the best day ever.
No, we can't let that happen. We can't let that happen. He said, "I got a."
That is a definite hot take, being as though he's not going to be because he is an Ohio State product. But that is a very good hot take, Taz. He is not going to be the best quarterback out of the draft.
So now look at this, right? I remember I had a hot take when Urban Meyer was hired, right? And it was, what if the man just said, "Listen, Trevor Lawrence is great, but with the first pick, we're taking Justin Fields."
He's glue. As simple as that. There's no way you're taking him over Trevor Lawrence.
But I'm just saying, I mean, listen, they could reunite. I think Myers had him 1 year, but I don't think Justin Fields was playing. I think they was on the team together. But yeah, I mean, listen, I was like, wow, what a possibility that can happen. I don't think it's not gonna happen. That's like a 0.0000001 chance of happening. But yeah, he said he goes to the Pats. I think that's a perfect fit.
Even though, yeah, the Pats are going to get a quarterback. Just don't know what. Are they going to trade up? What are they going to trade? Because just not a draft pick, because you're moving up in the spot. That's a high priority. So you're going to have to trade a player, I'm pretty sure. The question is, who are they trading? We don't
That's
know.
true. Now you said traded. What do you think about that Chiefs trade? Think they gave him too much?
It was expected. They have no choice. They had no choice.
Yeah, especially
To
after
go get
getting
Orlando
rid
Brown.
of those two guys. So I mean, they definitely was in need of a good lineman.
I kind of figured the Colts and the Chiefs are probably going to be the favorites to go move forward to left tackle, being as though that was the position that need. So when the Chiefs got him, I just was like, I knew they were going to get somebody, but maybe somebody off the draft. But the fact that they got that draft pick in Orlando Brown Jr., I mean, it's good for them. They still got a lot of work to do, but I mean, that's a move up in the progress for
What
what
do
they
you
got going
think?
on.
You think they're eventually gonna fall? Well, not fall, but I'm saying eventually they're gonna have to break up. I mean, there's no way you're gonna be able to pay all these guys.
Somebody will take a pay cut. They'll figure it out. This is how you build a dynasty when you make moves like these going into the future. So, yeah, they're just gonna ignore Ricky.
He said that he was gonna make that trade.
Yeah, the Chargers are set on the draft. They got a young roster going to get Orlando Brown Jr.
The team is extremely young. I think they still got time to build. I don't think they're really like in any rush to make a move like that, but they should be fine.
Yeah,
Ricky talking about Ricky Nation is the best. I'm gonna be a show player. I mean, you're number 2. You're not number 1.
Is he streaming it or is he making content on it?
Nah, he's just playing the game. But he's number 2. He's not even number 1. So you got when you get the number 1 spot, I'll say you're the best. I think he's only like I think he's like 20 points away from it. I think something like that. I know who I want the Titans to get. Who is that?
The edge rush.
Oh, that's what he wants?
Mm-hmm. Even though they're already loaded on the edge, if they get him, it's kind of like pointless.
I mean, you can never really, I guess, in a sense, never. I guess depending on what they really need, but I feel like they should.
I think he wants J.C. Horn, maybe the corner.
Well, yeah, I think they did Caleb Farley. So I mean, I definitely think they're in the need of a corner. So
corner not gonna save them.
No, it's not. The defense is. I mean,
the defense is always gonna be sus, being as though they got rid of so many people and they're bringing in new people. The offense is probably the biggest problem. Yes, they have Henry, but without Henry,
that's pretty much it. They have Henry.
You have wide receivers, but you're pretty much downloaded by the time you get to the playoffs. Your system's pretty much downloaded. So
yeah, but they showed so. I mean, they showed already so much. All you have to do is stack the box and just let Tannehill throw the ball. I mean, that's just the best way to beat them. If you stop Henry, you stop that offense. Yeah. That offense, the only way it gets rolling in the passing game is if Henry is rolling. So
Henry's going to get his numbers. It's just what are you going to do when Henry gets contained every now and then? So
yeah, that's pretty much it. Cornerback and wide receiver he wants.
Yep.
Well, definitely need a wide receiver now after losing Corey Davis.
Titans are going to be the Titans. They're always going to be a playoff team. That's just about it.
Well, man, I can't wait. Well, I'm ready for my shot, man.
Yes, sir. For up.
We're gonna give a special shout out to Mr. Ricky Nation over here.
Number 2.
Yeah, Mr. Number 2 in the world.
I was really enjoying Vice City an hour ago. Not gonna lie to you.
I like watching that game. I'm like, damn, I can't believe we actually played that as a kid.
Sure did, and had no problems with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? It was like nobody complained, nobody said nothing. Like the only thing was I remember, like always when you went to go buy it, you always had to go with like an adult because they wouldn't sell you the game.
Facts.
But yeah, that was good times, man. He said, "I'll catch you. I gotta go smash some balls IRL now." All right, Ricky.
All right, number 2.
Salute.
Cheers to a good episode. Cheers to the future of the podcast.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy your day.